Are you there, children? How many of you are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are there. Can you hear me? Am I audible properly? Am I audible properly, children? I want your comments. Okay, thank you very much. So, we were doing about development. We have seen what development means. Then we were discussing about that part, that criticisms of developmental model, and here we have already done with the criticism the social costs of development. Yesterday I have done up till that part, and today I am going to start with environmental costs of development. Environmental costs of development. Now here this part, everybody of us, we know this, that country's development is assessed. Assessed means it is analyzed, evaluated, calculated in terms of the number of industries it has. Clear? So the number of industries which it has, assessment is done upon that. So now construction of industries, establishment of industries, using of high technology, it's very clear that these kinds of things, what happens, they create, what to say, like they bring about development. But one thing which is very harmful is that, which we all know, that development in one sense, it harms the environment of the world because of the harmful gases, the harmful chemicals which comes out as an effluent, that means as a waste product or as a byproduct. We all know that it has caused a serious damage to the environment. First of all is that, and another one is that, for setting up of industries, what has happened, new many areas which were once upon a time used for forest, used as forest, or which were used for agricultural purposes, now what has happened, those places have been deforestation has taken place. So deforestation, when deforestation has taken place, that means trees had to be cut down. Why? Because for construction or establishment of industries in those areas, industries, mills and things like that. So what we see is that huge areas have been deforested. So as a result of deforestation, that the worst affected is the environment because of the harmful gases which comes out from this, because the number of the greenhouse gases, what we know as the greenhouse gases, which are responsible for global warming, this has increased millions of times. The temperature of the world has increased very much, as a result of which we know that the areas which were known to be the permafrost means areas which have been where permanent for frost, snow was there. You find the Arctic Circle, the Antarctic Circle, because of this increased temperature of the earth, what has happened, these ice caps, they have started melting, and this is not a very good sign. It's not a very good sign, because if they start melting, a time will come, the whole planet, solar, itself, like a planet of earth, it can get submerged. And not only that, because of this global warming, this glaciers and things like that, they have started melting, and as a result you can see that in many places of the world tremendous amount of floods have taken place. Clear? So in one way we can say that the whole ecological balance is getting disturbed because of the construction of mills, factories, industries, So when mills and factories and industries, when they are needed for your development, for the economic development of the country, but on the other side, you know, we have to pay a huge cost because of that to the environment. You know that there are many species of birds and animals in this world, you know, they have more or less gone to extinction. Why? Because they have gone to extinction because, you know, trees have been cut down, forests have been cleared. So where will they live? Where will they get their food from? So you can see that as a result of this industrialization, as a result of more and more growing of more and more building up of establishment of mills, factories and things like that, you can see that the environment has been damaged to a large extent. Now you can see that the water, river, even the river waters, which were the waters of the river Ganges, which were regarded to be very, very pious, very pure. Now what is happening, you can understand that everything, you know, if you go to take a dip in the river Ganga, you can see that immediately you will have some kinds of rashes on your skin. It is not the problem of the river. It is actually because of the harmful chemicals which are actually let out from the factories, and now, you know, they have been dumped into these oceans, seas or rivers. So we can see that the whole ecological balance of the world has been badly damaged because of, we are actually paying a cost of the price for development. When we are thinking that development is very, very important, we need to build up industries, we need to do this and this, but at the end what we have to do is that we have to pay a huge cost to the price for this to the environment. Environment, you know about the ozone layer depletion, you have heard about the you know, the holes which have taken place, which have been made in the ozone layer, clear. So what will happen, a point of time will come when all the ultraviolet rays will penetrate and they are going to come inside, isn't it? So we are paying a price for it. On page number 149, you can see that again one person in this region of development, you can see one person in Nigeria in 1950s. One incident had taken place where crude oil exploration for economic growth and business. You know, one more thing you have, I don't know whether you have heard or not, that, you know, all the natural resources like oil, which we find, water, forest, they have been used to such an extent that within few years you can see that we can find that all these resources will get exhausted. So one of them, his name was Ken Saro Wiwa, an Ogoni by birth, was recognized as an author, journalist and television producer in the 1980s. In his work, he observed and reacted to the exploitation around him as the oil and gas industry took riches from beneath the feet of the poor Ogoni farmers and in return left the land polluted and the people disenfranchised. So this is a person on the right side of this book or the chapter on page number 149, where you can see that one person, he was actually writing about the great exploitation which has been done, especially oil and gas have been exploited to such an extent that the people, those who were living there, you know, they were left without anything. So he started a non-violent protest, the movement of the survival of the Ogoni people, movement of the survival of the Ogoni people in 1990. So this was actually the movement which he had started in order to protect the natural resources of this area, because that was the only source of income for the people of that area. But you know, some other multinational companies, they had come, they had used it to such an extent that the poor farmers of those areas, the poor people, they were left without anything. They have become employed, nothing was left for them. So now we can see what is assessing development. Assessing means we have to now make an evaluation of development. So development is really a matter of concern. And till today you can find that, you know, there are many countries of the world, as I've talked to you about the first world developed countries and the second world developed countries. You can find that, you know, some countries of the world like USA, Canada, France, Britain, they have been developed very, you know, they have got developed to large extent. But what has happened, you know, the more they have become developed, you know, the more harm they have caused to the environment. In comparison to those countries, those who are developing countries, although they have not got to that level of development, even in these kinds of countries, as I'm talking to you about the third world countries which are not yet developed, you know, these countries have not yet developed, but the environment has been, I'll say that it has been exploited to such an extent that we are all now paying a price for it. Clear. And the UNO and various other organizations like the Human Development Report, from this we can find that the countries which have been richer, which have been rich countries, they are becoming rich day by day, and the countries, you know, which have been not yet developed, especially countries like India and things like that, you know, we are still lagging behind, although several measures have been taken up. And according to the Human Development Index, you can see that most of us, you know, the basic necessities of life like food, education, shelter, clothes, these kinds of things, we are actually, developing countries have actually tried to meet up all these basic necessities of life. And this one, as you know, like this, there is a very popular phrase, and what was that phrase? Like roti, kapda or makan. Roti, kapda or makan means these are the three basic necessities, especially which are the slogans of countries which are underdeveloped, like countries like India. And these are roti, kapda and makan, garibi hatao, bijli, sadak, pani. These have been some of the demands which have been put forward by the developing countries of the world. All the developing countries, countries which means who are not yet developed till today. Clear. Now we can see alternative conceptions of development. So instead of building up industries, instead of building of mills, factories, mines, things like that, that is development obviously. But there are some other ways of development also where we are lagging behind. Clear. There are certain, not only economic development, I told you that development should not be only in terms of economy. Development should be in all the other factors. That should be your physical development, your psychological development, your emotional development, all kinds of development, they fall within this particular category. So first of all is the claim of rights. This is one of the development which we need, you know. Many countries of the world, there are many people of the world, you know, they don't know about what are rights, what are their claims. So you know that rights of us as human beings, as citizens, this is another very important aspect of development which we need, because without proper rights we cannot earn the basic necessities of life. Together with that is democratic participation. This is also a kind of psychological, educational development where, you know, we should understand that what is the value of a democracy. We should have that much of knowledge, that much of education, that the best form of a government is a democratic government, and we should give up with all those kinds of like exploitation which have been done by the dictators, the the tyrants, the despots, single rulers, how they have done. We have to understand that the value of democracy and democratic participation in all fields of life. Together with that, development and lifestyle. So with development, one thing we can find that which has been greatly affected is the kind of lifestyle we are living, isn't it? With development, you can see that there has been an upward move in the lifestyle of the people, yes or no? We can see development where you can find that people in various ways, you know, we are the kind of life we used to live before. It was a very simple living, and the kind of life we are living now, you know, it has changed. Our necessities have changed. Our priorities have changed. We are living with much of luxuries in our life, and this has all been possible because of the development. So with this we come to an end with this chapter. Clear? And in the next class I will give you the questions, and that will be obviously after the vacations of your Kali Puja and Diwali vacations. Clear? So thank you very much. Happy Diwali and safe Diwali to all of you.